Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and AI Office Hours with Pat Riley and Neil Haley. Pat, AI is like a passion of mine. However, I got woken up, but I'm going to let you get started first with your updates.
Uh-huh.
And AI woke me up about AI. Go figure. But let's go with what you
Yeah,
have.
absolutely. Yeah, so one of the things that popped up was Google's. So we are talking about Gemini. Google has its offering within its workspace. And so I started playing around with it. One thing I was trying to do was update my AWS because I was trying to add for the new project that I've got going on. I'll just create a new account, upload everything that way. I was having real issues because it kept declining my credit card. I'm like, it's not a problem. And they're like, and I kept going back to AWS's support, and they're like, it's you. I was like, no, it's you. I know my credit card's good. It's wide open. I don't have any, credit on it. It's just, or I don't
Right.
owe anything on it. So they're like, well, it got declined. It didn't decline. So I had to go. I do have two other AWS accounts. I might actually have three. This one would be the third or fourth. But so I started to add my notes into Notepad or OneNote that I usually put in,
Yeah.
just because I was like, what's the numbers? So I've got everything
Yeah.
documented now. But Google Workspace, they have their little Notepad area,
Right.
notebook.google. And there you can just upload all your information. And what I started doing was I created a little presentation on my new thing. So just I created a short video. I was like, well, this is pretty cool. And it went through and explained everything, but it had the old name. So now I have to go through and get that updated. But you can do audio overviews. I did a video overview, mind maps, reports, flashcards, quizzes, you know, data tables. So I can put all that stuff in there, which would be great. But that's the kind of the new tool. And, I think once I get uh, the explainer video created, better, I'll have that set up and I'll start sharing it because I'm able to get a prevent just the basic for the patent going, so I can get the patent laid out, and then I'll launch that soon, and I can do the development of the back end. And that's the big key that I can do is I can do the development of the back end. I just need the front end development work, but I think I can probably get some AI help with the front end for that application. I just need to do the back end myself. But yeah, I think the Google Suite was pretty good. It does link into Google Drive, although I don't have a lot up there right now, but I think it would be good. I'll expand more on that. And it would just scrape anything I want off Google Drive. Um, but they do have that access in the Gemini, so I can utilize Gemini in
Are you
different
using
aspects.
Spark as an agent?
No, I haven't gotten that far yet with Google, but because of course it's like $14 a month. I'm like, I'm not paying anything more. I'm kind of cutting out as much as I can. I haven't cut 11 labs yet. I had a list of how much I'm paying per month, and I've got it down to a small amount, so I'm good. It's just it was getting to a point where I was like, why do I have all this stuff? But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
it's
that's
looking good.
that's the point that we have to make to ourselves. Why do we
Hmm.
have all this stuff when
Yeah,
we find one that works better than everything else, but we think this one's the special secret sauce now?
yeah, exactly.
I think that this is going to be my prediction, and not saying I'm not going to do AI agents, not
Mhm.
saying I'm going to let AI go and do stuff, but I honestly think it's going to be the biggest failure in AI. And here's the reason why. The reason I feel it's going to be a failure is because it's never going to compete with a human in that way. It's
Mhm.
never going to be able to do it. And it's the biggest lie that AI is telling you. The people that are out there talking about it's going to take over the world, a human will take over the world using AI. And
Mhm.
that's what you need to start to dictate. You let it go by itself. Sure, it hacked a website. Great, fantastic. But could you trust it to make a lot of decisions correctly like humans? Absolutely not. Your firsthand experience using OpenClaw. Would you really trust Rich to make decisions for you, make purchases for you, and go and run your company?
No, not at all. Yeah, I wouldn't have him do that. You have to keep those, of course, I love guardrails. Keep those guardrails on. It's not so much guardrails when you talk about agents, it's more a leash. You need to have a tight leash to say, this is all you're going to be able to do. You can maybe manage a calendar here too, but you can't just schedule anything. You can see what's available and what's open, but you can't sit there and say, yeah, we're going to book Pat's time at 2 a.m. Okay, that's not a good time to book it.
Well, I have an experience where I've had AI manage my inbox using
Uh-huh.
Marbleism, and I'm ready
Yeah.
to punch it because I go through and it organizes everything. And now in Gmail, it doesn't show up in my inbox. It shows up in all mail, and it's
Hmm.
so annoying. It might be a Google thing when
Yeah.
it touches now. It could be a change in Google, but it's frustrating because you're missing emails, and then the
Hmm.
drafts are just ridiculously on crack. And I'm
Yeah.
just saying, if that's what automation is like, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And this is the I think that's the hardest process to think about. I think that's because you're like, okay, everyone pushes the next thing, loops and AI. So the reason I'm in this epiphany, and this is why you have to keep listening to the podcast, because I can come back next week and say, oh my gosh, AI can do everything. I honestly believe they're selling a bill of goods that the bubble's coming. The bubble is
Hmm.
coming, ladies and gentlemen. I'd much rather use AI, prompt, be a prompt engineer, forget the loops, forget it, let it in control. And here's my experience of why. So Claude is number one with conversational AI now. It
Hmm.
slams everyone apart, and it was just a surprise. Gemini kept screwing up. And I just got in a voice call with Claude and I started talking about Be My This, and I have no idea. Oh, it does a really good job with lists. It does a real good job of reading information, even with voice, creating 20 different documents. So I made it my fractional, I made it my CMO, my CFO and my CEO, taking all of my revenue, doing all the specific things, looking at everything, telling me my invoices, posts, everything, just all that, to now doing time tracking management. So I'm time tracking every hour I'm working 7 days a week to track what I'm making hourly, track what I'm doing, and how long it's taking me versus the client. So we did this whole audit, all these things through conversation, which is really nice. But I discovered a few things by doing that. Discovery number one: when I multitask with AI trying to do other work, my productivity sucks. It is
Hmm.
terrible. I don't think multitasking works, ladies and gentlemen. That's number one. Number two, I discovered a lot of the things I'm doing with AI that I think are cool and really neat to have your executive assistant is killing my brain, exhausting me, and I already have it in my brain. Why am I talking to AI about it? Example, my workouts. When I would go and prepare for every call, going over every call with my executive assistant, I'm already prepared. Why am I telling AI? AI doesn't have anything really special to tell me, just to put it in documents I'm never going to look at. Second thing, creating loops and all these different agents running. When am I going to have time to even look at all this data? And what the hell? I'll just prompt it when I need it. So I was spotting lots of gaps where I'm putting too much time in AI. What's your thoughts on this, Pat?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard about people, and of course there's videos out there. You'll be like, I quit my job and I just dedicated my entire life to AI and I'm making whatever amount per month or week or
Remember, that's a lot of BS. Just like I'm a social
it
media
is.
influencer making money when you're not. You're
Absolutely.
lying to people.
Yeah, yeah, and that's exactly it. Because when I was with all my Navy friends last week and we were talking about, I asked them because I'm getting to the point where I want to retire, and they say, "What happens when you retire?" It's really be getting rid of my full-time job. But that's like I'd say at least 4 years from now, and that's when I take that step. But for me to say I want to retire, it's not to focus on AI. It would be to focus on writing books, being creative. Also, I would just keep active with my little side gigs, my little part-time gigs, where I would say, okay, I could do a 8 hour shift once a week. that's a good retirement gig. But just to say, I'm going to quit my job, whatever I have going, and focus purely on AI agents, no, horrible idea.
I think AI agents but let's just continue. So I
Yeah.
love your point, but I think this is going to be the next move in 2027. Everyone who decided to hear the advice, I need to automate my entire day, you're going to find out you are not as good as you used to be.
Hmm.
I am
Yeah.
going to call out anybody because I love AI. I use AI all the time, but I use it the way that it's smart to use it, where I'm
Yeah.
making productivity. I am becoming unbelievable. It's building websites for me, it's doing social media for me, it's helping me do it. It is being the another lever. It is not automation. Whoever created the idea that AI and automation is going to be the next big thing, I can do it for you. I am not a fan of it
Yeah.
to the point where
Yeah.
I'm about to cut out a lot of my AI automations because it waters you down. Pat, your thought. And
Yeah.
I'm calling out every one of you right now. I'm calling out every AI automation person. I'm calling out Eric Sue right now and say, Eric, show me something that's really worthwhile, except that you really use using AI that is
Hmm.
having by setting loops up and creating all these things that I could do in a prompt. And tell me, is it really as good as if I would go to one of the best prompts AI agents than spending money over and over again and things you probably wouldn't have hired somebody to do? Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Because yeah, if you can, like I said, when you look at trying to automate processes, going through, yeah, you got to spend a lot of time and effort, and it's not 100%. But if you do that work yourself and you really manage it, then yeah, you're taking time out of your day. But you got to really kind of weigh it out to say, all right, is this beneficial? Because if it's not 100%, if I put in my own work, it's going to be 100%. And I know it's going to be accurate. But if something happens with an automation, it's not going to be 100%. And you can't just babysit it all day long. So yeah, it's something where you just have to stay on top. You got to, it's not there yet. We'll get
And
there.
because so, but see, I don't think it's going to get there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to get there. See, and
Yeah.
this is where that argument comes in. This
Mhm.
is me to this week. Maybe next week I'll be like, oh my gosh, AI now can do everything for me. Yes, it can build a website for me, but I still am the brains behind it.
Yes.
It's a machine. Okay, so let me
Yeah.
give you through the conversations with it, we're time tracking everything. Out of one conversation, then I had to shut it down because Claude was starting to get crazy. Then I had to download all the documents, make it even more become not be my best yes man. Hey, you're going to really critique me and go after me. I took it, created all these documents. First of all my client list, entire
Hmm.
client list of all my revenue. Secondly, after it did that, it didn't just do that, ladies and gentlemen. It also created and then it did the time tracking from it. It also created a knowledge document. It also created a post list. It created a podcast list. It created my leads list, all in one conversation. That is where it is really unreal to see five documents up in the air, and you could have a conversation with this person and it could go pull all this document information and tell you what's going on. That is the power of AI. That is where a human could not do that. And if you tell me a human can do that going through five different documents and figuring out, it makes me better. But I want to hear your thoughts, Pat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tool. If you're going to use it to tie in different applications, look at different files, compare them, that's awesome. Because yeah, you're right. That's something that's time consuming. Let it do those simple tasks. And of course, I did see a funny video today where this dude was just going crazy on the keyboard. It's like, hey, let's see if AI can automate this. And I was like, that guy's impressive, but I,
What kind
yeah,
of
there's
automation? Just tell me, is it really important to anybody except that person?
Yeah, no, it isn't. It is not that important. No, except for that person. That's all it is. And yeah, if you have your own set of routines down and you know how to do it, if you can put it into automation, great, but it's not going to, you can't have every single part of it automated. And that's where the key is because if you have a workflow and there's 25 different steps and it can do 10 of those steps really, really well, and the other steps you're questioning it's not 100%. You can't do it.
And it's going to break it. It's going to break
Yes.
it. But what was
Hmm.
identified was I was spending a lot of time creating loops that were worthless. All this
Yeah.
data that I
Yeah.
never get to. I've not even shut down my loop yet, where it's giving prepping all my calls because I already
Hmm.
have in my head. Why am I going to look at the data again? What, so
Yeah.
it just didn't work well for me. Maybe it worked well for somebody else, but yet it was not getting the data I really wanted.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I'd rather have a conversation with it. And every social media did not do that except Claude. Everyone else dropped the ball. Dory for everybody else. And I don't know this information and a complete waste of time. And I saw how much of a complete waste of time things are. So I see it as a productivity tool and a
Hmm.
teacher and a plus multiplier for, but I don't see it as someone that's going to replace a human
Yeah.
ever, ever. And if you think I'm crazy, when you hear Elon say this, because Elon, every time people start thinking that, they keep putting more money into SpaceX. Every time you hear Mark Zuckerberg saying he's doing all this in AI, people keep investing. Everyone keeps opening up their pocket saying this is going to be it. When are we going to get a final call that guess what? It's nothing but a VA in overseas. That's what
Hmm.
AI is. That and what they are capable of doing, and they make so many mistakes that a human has to oversee it, and it's still not better than a human. I'm calling you out on this because if you believe I'm wrong, comment I'm wrong. I'm right. Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, you're right. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. And I agree. And I'm not going to sit there and call you out, Neil, and say, you know what? I was questioning in the bubble a while ago, and you were like, no, I got these loops going. No, you're a great guy. I love
No,
you.
I
So,
was wrong, and
yeah.
so that's why you got to keep listening to the podcast. You said that, Pat, but
Yeah.
there you go. I was having a goal. I thought AI could take over my business. No, it makes me a more productive person.
Hmm. Yeah.
However, and that's the thing. Everyone needs to be well versed in it to become better themselves,
Hmm.
not let AI become better than you. You become better than somebody who doesn't have AI.
Right. Right.
That's what we have
Exactly.
to do.
Yeah.
But are
Yeah.
you doing that? I'm challenging you, Pat. Are you becoming better with AI than by yourself?
Yes, I am. Absolutely. I am. Because I know the limitations. I know what I can do. I don't spend a lot of money in just whatever, garbage. I'm getting better. It's just, oh boy, I really stretch myself. I need to bring myself in. And it's not all the work that I'm doing with AI, it's the work I'm doing outside of just even my full-time job. So yeah, with just everything going on. Yeah, it's I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm just so yeah, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm just
That's
I'm spiraling, man. No, no,
no, no,
I
no, but
love
no,
these
but what you're
conversations.
learning is
Yeah.
this is it. So
Hmm.
where do we go from here? So you're Pat, am I being a naysayer saying this is fool's gold? And ultimately we knew how the power of what AI was in the days of ChatGPT in 2020, and it just didn't have the capabilities, and now it's done so well, but they decided how can I label what ChatGPT gave me in 2020 and make it better now? Am
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
am
yeah, yeah.
I am I nuts? Am I
Nope.
crazy? And I'm saying that really it's not much different than it was in 2020, except it can do a lot of skills very, very well
Hmm.
that are one trick pony. It can build a website that's phenomenal. It can do code, but it needs to have a human driving it. And I just don't see it ever saying, okay, um, go ahead, Marbleism. You handle all my emails, my phone calls, my texts, everything. Answer the phone for me, do my sales, and I'll just sit here on a beach.
Hmm.
That's what
Right.
people think are going to happen. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's not. Not even close. Yeah, you've got to manage this. Don't quit your day job. Just use it as a tool. Just so I think we used to say, hey, Google it. Well, now instead of Googling it, you just ask AI. That's all you have to do. Don't think of it any other way of I'm not hiring all these agents. And I've heard people say that I'm going to hire all these agents. No, you're not hiring anybody. You're not getting rid of anybody. So yeah, just use it as a
I
tool.
mean,
That's all
but
you
see,
can do.
Pat, you got to go back because you're shocked at my turnaround. But AI turned me away from AI.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Isn't
so what
that
am I
great?
going to do? But so that's crazy. And
Uh-huh.
but ultimately, it is a powerful tool. I'm going
Uh-huh.
to talk about it all the time when I do an AI, and I still will create loops because if I'm paying for the software, I better just burn it to the ground. Because
Yeah.
literally, I pulled up, guys, my Claude, and this is nuts. And I have to share screen to show you this before the podcast is over. I pulled up the user stuff in Claude, and it's pretty interesting. I'm not using much of Fable 5, by the way. That's
Okay.
another fool's gold, but let's go back to where, okay. If you go in here, guys, and you click on settings, this is an eye opener. Oh my gosh, Claude is okay. For somebody who uses it 24/7, 7 days a week, I've only used 27% for just resets if at 10:59 p.m. So you know what they do? They have usage limits are per thing. And this is my
hmm
per session, 3 hours and 12 minutes. I've only used 19%. I ended up
Wow.
so what I'm saying is look all the Fable 5 still available. But then it doesn't talk to you about usage credits. Do you understand that? But
No.
it's just interesting to look at. I'm going to max this to the ground. I'm not going to
hmm
use any of the data because I'm paying for this. You
Right.
know, did you hear what's his name say? And then I'm going to stop the share, but I just wanted to show you that, guys. Did you hear what's his name from OpenAI say, "Oh, by the way, someday you're never going to be paying a subscription. You're going to be paying like an electric bill."
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Wow. Like an
But
electric bill. See,
yeah,
it
that
could
was
be
the
sort of like AWS because that's what AWS does. It's a pay-as-you-go model. So, but now AWS is now saying, here, I've got like a plan where you can kind of prepay and just like, where AWS is shifting from a pay-as-you-go model to a subscription model. If Sam Altman's talking about going from a subscription into pay-as-you-go, that's kind of a reverse plot for these guys. All right. That's interesting.
So you didn't know that one.
I
That's
didn't know that
crazy.
one.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's nuts. That's stupid.
Yep. That's funny.
I mean, and so that is it. So Pat, final result before we say goodbye to this podcast because now next week I'm going to come back and say AI could do everything for me. So
Right.
if you know me, oh my gosh, I just found this new thing and it's the greatest thing. I'm going to run this to the ground and make sure
Uh-huh.
every credit is used. However, if I have the time to do it, because if I ask Claude right now, Claude would say, I told you, Neil, that's a waste of your time. You need to be focusing on revenue clients right now. And it's telling me that.
Yeah.
Neil, you're wasting your time. You should be focusing on, because I love it's a British accent. That's what I love about
Yeah.
Claude. I don't know. I got the Claude version with the British.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'd rather listen to a British person. Oh, then I'm gonna get in trouble. I better shut up before I said that. Go ahead. Back to you,
You're all
Pat.
good.
Yeah,
No,
you
no,
know what I
it's
was
great.
about to say. I'd rather listen to a British man than, but I'm not saying anything more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, no, just normal stuff. Underwhitebooks.com. I got to post. I got to get my children's Carter loves cars up there.
Yeah, you got to
And
show me that once that's up, then I will
yeah,
start getting my agents to start posting like crazy on that. You should create social
awesome.
media accounts on all that.
Yeah, yeah, I'll get them up there. So, yeah, I got to get the stupid AWS account going. AWS stinks. That's the problem. Is that they're so embedded into everybody's lives. And you can't come up with ultimate, other accounts because most people only have one cell phone number because you
Let me
only
let
have
me
one
let me
cell
call
phone.
let me call Jeff for you.
Yeah, yeah. Hey Bezos, what's going on, man? So,
No, no, exactly. People, Jeff, come on now. But Jeff's not even running the company anymore. What are we talking about?
yeah, I know. So, yeah, but I'm all good. I'm all good.
Okay. All right, underwaybooks.com. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and Office Hours with Pat Riley, AI Office Hours with Pat Riley and Neil Haley. Take care, guys.